tequileros, this is Ro. Welcome back to the Tequila Princess channel. There are many legends that talk about the origin of tequila, but there is one that I particularly like the most, and today I want to share it with you. Back in the days before the Spanish colonized Mexico, the Aztecs were the empire that was ruling most of the central area of Mexico. And of course, the tequila region was under their dominion. Therefore, there were polytheists. And the Aztecs believed in so many gods that we could keep going on and on and on. But this story will involve only three of them. The first one is Mayahuel, the goddess of the maguey. Remember, maguey is a Nahuatl word for the agave plants in general, not only the blue agave that we use for tequila, but all of them. On the other hand, we have her grandmother, Tzitzimítl. She was the goddess of the night sky. And finally, we have Quetzalcoatl, the god of life, one of the most powerful gods of the Aztec mythology. So the story goes like this. Tzitzimítl is super jealous of Mayahuel's beauty and youth, so she locked her away in the night sky, far away where nobody will see her, and she kind of threw away the key, so nobody will ever find her and fall in love with her. But that was a little bit too late, because Quetzalcoatl had already met Mayahuel before, and he completely fell for her. He was so passionate about her that he started looking everywhere for her. One day he learned why he couldn't find Mayahuel, and he went to the night sky, tried to talk to Tzitzimítl, and confront her to know why she was putting Mayahuel into a prison. But when he arrived there, Tzitzimítl was nowhere to be seen. So he seized the moment and he went to free Mayahuel. So they ran away together and they decided to hide themselves in the beautiful lands of what today is Tequila. She transformed into an agave plant and he transformed into a weeping willow next to her. So every time that the wind blew, he will caress her with his branches. Tzitzimítl went crazy when she found out that Mayahuel has escaped, so she was trying to find her everywhere. So one day, her little minions, the Tzitzimimes, found them in the agave fields, and they went to tell Tzitzimítl exactly where they were hiding and which was their form. Then Tzitzimítl, all raged up as she arrived to the countryside and she unleashed the most terrifying storm that you have ever seen. So the sky went dark and there were lightnings and hail and rain and all the craziness of the strongest and most scary storm you have ever seen. During the storm, Tzitzimítl was so angry, she was grabbing anything she could grab and threw it to Mayahuel, including of course a few lightnings. And one of them hit Mayahuel while she was still in her agave form. At that point, Tzitzimítl felt happy with the results and she left, so the storm passed. The people that lived near this area were known as Tequilos. That's where the name comes from. And they hid in one of the caves nearby while the storm passed. The Tequilos went out of the cave realizing that the storm has passed and the sky was clearing. Once out, they smelled something so sweet, so appealing, so they started following the scent until they arrived where Mayahuel, as an agave, lay there, all cooked. A beautiful, huge agave plant that smells so sweet, and right in the middle, where the lining hit her, there was a little pond of liquid, something brownish that smelled delicious. And it tasted so good that everyone decided to take a little bit of this juice back home so that everybody could taste it. A few days passed and some of the drinks that they collected started to ferment. And when they tasted, they realized that the taste was different, but they also felt different. So They tasted again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And suddenly they were so happy and so cheerful and so relaxed, and they were so drunk. That's how the tequilas find out about the very magical properties of tequila. Did you like the story of Mayahuel, the goddess of maguey, and therefore mother of tequila? If you did like it as much as I do, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to click on the bell to receive notifications every time that I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Tequila Princess, out.